Welcome back to another Shadowverse video. We are talking about more Resurgent Legends card reveals. Now, I just landed in Indonesia today, and frankly, I'm exhausted, so this is all I can do for you right now. I did see that there was a huge news release where they're unnerfing a bunch of cards in Unlimited, as well as buffing one card in rotation, and I want to talk about that, but I'm not really experienced in the Unlimited format, so I did recruit somebody to come talk with me tomorrow about it, who is very, very well versed in Unlimited, so we'll have that video up for you soon. But for now, we are going to talk about the three newest cards that were just revealed. First of all is the Bloodcraft Legendary Vampire Liberated 1/1/1. During your turn, when this card is added to your hand from your deck, if you have 10 cards or less in your deck, reveal it, gain +4/+4, and recover 1 evolution point. With Ward, Fanfare, banish 2 random cards from your deck, banish a card from your hand, put a copy of it into your deck, draw a card, and evolve. If you have 10 cards or less in your deck, deal X damage to all enemy followers. X equals this follower's attack. Now, this does stack in terms of archetype with the previously revealed bronze card for Bloodcraft, that Hell's Heartbreaker here, the new archetype of banishing a bunch of cards in your deck for big effects. I think this archetype I'm not a super big believer in so far. Granted, we've only seen 2 cards revealed for it, so we don't know the full extent of how well supported this is going to be in the upcoming set, but just the idea that it has to be added from your deck to your hand while you have limited cards in your deck, like that timing seems uncontrollable and the condition seems harsh and the payoff is really not even that good. That being said, you can just play this on one or whenever as an early banisher to activate that condition for your other payoffs like Hell's Heartbreaker. Plus this evolve effect is okay. Again, we have to see how fast you can actually get to 10 cards or less, but even though it requires such a harsh condition, like I said, the payoff is just okay. Only enemy followers and only with this attack, and you buff it when you have that little cards anyway. So it's like early game, it's a 1/1 that helps you get to your quest. Late game, it's a 7 damage board clear with so many hoops you have to jump through. I don't know. I'm not super loving it. But again, we're gonna have to see what other cards are revealed as the Resurgent Legends spoiler season continues onward. Next up, we have a new Portal Crafts card, a gold card with Fanfare, deal 3 damage to an random enemy follower, draw a card, enhance 6, deal damage to 2 random enemy followers instead, and evolve this follower. When this follower evolves, give your leader the following effect. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to an enemy follower and draw a card. Not stackable and only activates 2 times. So it's kind of hard for me to get super excited for what's clearly only meant to be a one-of in Enhanced Portal. And in Enhanced Portal, this is pretty sick. 2 play point, draw a card, deal with the board, and have 2 more turns of board clear and cycle to help you draw into like your other your other enhanced tools like Battle Cruiser and of course Cutthroat and all that. Like, just having a passive way to deal with the board and cycle for 2 play points is fantastic. But yeah, this card is really not good anywhere else. And in Enhance, of course, because it's not condemned, you can only run this as a one-of. So it's a nice add to that deck. Probably more universally useful than that statue card we got in the last release. But it is, like I said, hard to kind of really get like super hyped up for this as a 1x addition to what is ostensibly until now a middling deck that doesn't seem to be getting that much support, given that a lot of the slots are taken with Artifact. I'm not sure how much more they're going to be pushing Enhance anyway, so but you know, if you're a big fan of Enhance and Cutthroat right before Asvault rotates out with the next release, right, because this release rotates out Celestial Dragonblade and the next one will rotate out Asvault, well, if you're a fan, you know, a nice addition to that deck. Finally, the one that I want to talk the most about, which has a horrific graphic here. I don't know why. I mean, this was revealed by a Japanese YouTuber, right? And I guess he had a little fun with it. Absorption Dragon, 7 play point 4/5 Dragon Legendary. Storm. Fanfare, discard a card from your hand, put a copy of it into your deck, draw a card. If the card drawn was a dragon follower with an original cost of at least 7 play points, change its cost to 0 until the end of your turn. Last words, restore 3 defense to your leader, add an absorption dragon to your deck. Seems really, really, really bad in a vacuum, because not only is it only a 4/5 storm for 7 play points, this RNG effect of drawing a card that at least costs 7 and then reducing it, it seems very, very conditional and hard to proc. But then you remember the legendary that was revealed earlier the day before, Celestial Worm God. Banish all cards in your deck that originally cost 6 play points or less. So the idea is you don't even use this for the roost effect at 10 play point orbs. You don't even worry about that. You ramp into Celestial Worm God as fast as possible, using the new ramp card as well, Dragon Shrine, which ramps based on how many 7 play point cards you have in your hand, right? So that'll, if you're only running a deck of 7 play point cards, you can get Dragon Shrine to activate. Or even if you're not, you just ramp with your normal ramp tools and run a specific pool of 7 play point cards. And if you do that, it might even be better, right? So you play Celestial Worm God, you tutor very specifically your entire deck is now only Absorption Dragon plus an additional win condition, like, for example, Tarask or Antamaria, and then you have a potential to chain Absorption into Absorption into Absorption into Tarask or something like that, which sounds crazy. It also sounds very, very predictable and very easy to stop. Like, once your opponent sees the Celestial Worm God and they know you're about to do that shenanigans to OTK them, they can put up a damage shield, they can put up wards. You could run Case Crack to deal with wards, but then that means your deck is even more bricky. And of course, this kind of deck seems like it's really vulnerable to aggression as you're ramping into a Celestial Worm God into your OTK. And if you're vulnerable to aggression, then you might want to run Draziel. But if you run Draziel, then you interrupt the pattern of your OTK, because your Absorption Dragon might draw Draziel instead of another Absorption Dragon or Tarask. So, I understand the vision. I do. And I am going to play it. It does sound like something that interests me. Certainly more than this buff support, and certainly more than all the other nonsense we got. But, man, it sounds like a pipe dream. It really does. But if it works, if it ends up being playable, oh boy, that could be pretty sick. I have my doubts. But it is something for Dragon to look forward to. And really, what else could there have been, right? Like, nobody wants to see more buff. Discard is dead because Lumior rotates out. And that's it. So this is the new way we play Dragon now, right? Absorption Dragon OTK. Pray you don't just die beforehand to aggro or an OTK that's faster than you, or any way to mitigate this damage. But it is pretty hilarious. And definitely I'm going to be thinking on it tonight, how to ideally cook this. All right, well, those are the 3 new reveals. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go sleep. Traveling takes a lot out of you, as it turns out. All right, bye.